Gen Z is not lazy, Gen Z is not broken, and Gen Z is definitely not just sensitive. Something much deeper is happening. This is the first generation raised inside the attention economy, inside algorithmic comparison, inside nonstop global awareness. Their psychology was shaped by phones, feeds, crises, and constant visibility, all before their identity even finished forming. So in this video, we're going to unpack the hidden psychology of Gen Z, not with cliches, but with the real forces shaping how they think, feel, and behave. And once you understand this, a lot of things will finally make sense. Why they seem detached in meetings, why they overthink so much, why they crave authenticity, and why they often reject old ideas of success. The first hidden truth is this: Gen Z is not chasing happiness. They're chasing relief. Why? Because their brains are overloaded. They grew up with endless notifications, short-form videos, rapid social comparison, and constant stimulation. That means many Gen Z minds are trained to expect fast reward and fast interruption. So when life becomes quiet, it doesn't always feel peaceful. Sometimes it feels empty. That's why boredom feels unbearable to so many people in this generation. Their nervous system has been taught that stillness is unusual. The second truth is even more interesting. Gen Z often has two selves. There is the real self, and there is the algorithm self. The real self is who they actually are. The algorithm self is who they become when they start asking, what gets attention? What gets likes? What gets approval? This matters because identity is supposed to form through exploration. But Gen Z explored identity while being watched, ranked, and compared in public. That creates a strange psychological split. They want to be authentic, but they also know the world rewards performance. The third hidden truth: Gen Z fears irrelevance more than failure. Older generations often feared losing money, losing status, or making the wrong career move. Gen Z fears something more existential: being unseen. If you exist online but nobody notices, it can feel like you don't exist at all. That is why visibility matters so much. It's also why many Gen Z people are highly sensitive to social signals, trends, and cultural shifts. In the attention economy, attention becomes a form of survival. Here's another overlooked insight: what looks like anxiety is often chronic awareness. Gen Z has lived through economic uncertainty, climate anxiety, pandemics, conflict, political instability, and permanent access to bad news. They are not just worrying too much. They are processing too much, too early, and too often. So when they question institutions, doubt promises, or hesitate to trust systems, that is not always cynicism. Often, it is pattern recognition. They have seen too many things fail to assume stability is guaranteed. This leads to the fifth truth: Gen Z values freedom because they trust systems less. They watched careers become unstable, industries transform overnight, and institutions lose credibility. So instead of putting all their faith in one path, many prefer optionality: freelancing, side hustles, remote work, digital income, flexible identities, and self-directed learning. To some people, that looks indecisive, but psychologically, it is often a rational response to a world that feels unstable. And now the deepest insight: Gen Z is not just a generation. It is an adaptation. Every generation is shaped by its environment. But Gen Z is the first cohort fully formed inside a world where attention is monetized, identity is public, and reality is constantly filtered through screens. That means their behaviors are not random. They are responses. Their need for authenticity comes from living in a fake-feeling world. Their discomfort with forced professionalism comes from valuing signal over script. Their short attention isn't just distraction, it's adaptation to a high-noise environment. So the real question is not, what is wrong with Gen Z? The better question is, what kind of world produced Gen Z? Because once you answer that, their behavior stops looking strange, and starts looking logical. Gen Z is not confused. They are calibrated for a different reality. And the more we understand that, the less we judge them, and the more we learn from them. This is BrainCapital, where we decode the mind behind modern life. Subscribe to BrainCapital, think smarter, earn bigger.